follow the white horse, discover truth, ignite curiosity. Let's explore the unknown together.
In the bustling streets of Amritsar, amid the aroma of spices and the golden glow of the Harmandir Sahib, I grew up with a deep sense of belonging to the rich tapestry of life around me. My name is Arjun, and I was born into a humble family of farmers. My childhood was steeped in simplicity, but even as a young boy, I felt an insatiable curiosity about the world and its people. I would sit under the banyan tree near our house, listening to my grandparents recount tales of different cultures and religions. Those stories sparked a fire in me, a desire to understand why the world seemed divided by lines of faith and belief. As far I remember, my journey began in my school days. I had friends from different communities, and each of them opened a window into a world I hadn't known. Samir, one of my closest friends, was Muslim. During Eid, his mother would lovingly pack an extra portion of biryani for me, calling me her other son. On Diwali, Samir would come to our house, his eyes lighting up at the dayas we placed around our home. Then there was Mera, a Christian girl who lived down the lane. Helping her decorate her house for Christmas was always a highlight of the year for me. I loved the way the candles in her church flickered during midnight mass, casting a warm, inviting glow. These moments weren't just memories, they were lessons. They taught me that beneath our diverse practices and rituals lay a common thread of humanity. My teacher, Mrs. Kapoor, noticed my eagerness to learn and often lent me books about different cultures and religions. I still remember the day she handed me a book on comparative religion and said, "Understanding others starts with knowledge, Arjun." That book became my constant companion, and with every page, my world expanded. My parents encouraged my curiosity. I would ask them about the stories behind festivals, and they would patiently explain. "It's not about how we pray," my father once told me. "It's about how we treat others." Those words stayed with me, shaping my outlook on life. After a few years, as I grew older, my thirst for understanding turned into a desire to experience the world beyond Amritsar. My first adventure took me to Ladakh. The serene monasteries and the towering mountains were unlike anything I had ever seen. I spent weeks at a monastery, waking up before dawn to join the monks in their chants. The discipline was tough, the simple meals, the long hours of meditation, but it was also transformative. One evening, over a cup of tea, the head monk Lama Tenzin told me, "Peace comes not from the absence of struggle, but from acceptance." His words resonated deeply with me. From Ladakh, I traveled to Varanasi, where the ghats along the Ganges left me spellbound. I would sit by the river, watching life unfold. Children playing, priests performing rituals, and families mourning their loved ones. One night, as I watched the Ganga Aartis, I felt a profound connection to something greater than myself. I wrote in my journal, "This river carries not just water, but centuries of hope, faith, and stories." My journey then took me to Kerala, where I volunteered at a village school. The children, with their endless questions and infectious laughter, reminded me of my younger self. I taught them about the places I'd visited, using sketches to bring my stories to life. In return, they taught me Malayalam phrases and shared their simple joys with me. Each place I visited, each person I met, added a new chapter to my understanding of the world. My first love. It was in Jaipur, the city of pink palaces, that I met Leela. Our meeting was pure chance. A sandstorm forced us to take shelter in the same roadside tea stall. She was an artist, sketching the intricate patterns of henna on her hands. I was captivated by her creativity and struck up a conversation. We discovered a shared love for storytelling, and before long, we were wandering the streets of Jaipur together, sharing tales of our journeys. Leela's art studio became my refuge. I would sit for hours watching her murals come to life. One evening, as we painted a wall together, she confided in me, "Art is my way of making sense of the chaos around us." I realized that my travels were my way of doing the same. Over time, our friendship deepened into love. Together, we explored the deserts, capturing moments in sketches and photographs. Leela often said, "Our love is a mosaic built from tiny pieces of our adventures." It was my best time, but life, however, had its own plans. One day, I received a call that my father was gravely ill. I rushed back to Amritsar, leaving behind the vibrant colors of my travels. The responsibilities of farm life weighed heavily on me, and despite our love, the distance strained my relationship with Leela. Letters became fewer, calls shorter, until one day they stopped altogether. Losing my father and Leela broke me. Nights were the hardest. Memories of Leela's laughter and my father's wisdom haunted me. But life in the village had its way of healing wounds, helping a neighbor fix a roof, teaching local children to read, tending to the fields. These small acts brought me solace. Slowly, I began to rebuild myself piece by piece. As they say, time heals everything. For years, I focused on the farm, but the memories of my travels lingered like an old melody. Then one day, a letter arrived from Lama Tenzin, inviting me to a gathering in Goa to celebrate unity and diversity. I hesitated, but eventually decided to go. It felt like a spark of my old adventurous self had been reignited. In Goa, amidst the crashing waves and the laughter of strangers, I found renewal. I met people from all walks of life, musicians, poets, and dreamers, each with their own stories of struggle and triumph. The gathering reminded me of the beauty of connection and diversity. As I never expected, it was there in Goa that I met Mira, a writer with her own share of scars. We connected instantly over our shared experiences of loss and hope. Myra's stories brought me healing, and her presence rekindled my belief in love. Together, we dreamed of creating something meaningful. We founded an organization that celebrated cultural exchange, bringing people together through shared stories and traditions. Mira and I traveled extensively, hosting workshops and events that bridged divides. We visited schools, teaching children the importance of empathy and understanding. We organized festivals that celebrated multiple faiths, creating spaces where people could learn from one another. Our work became a beacon of hope in a fractured world. Years later, Mira and I sat on the porch of our home, watching the sun dip below the horizon. Her hand in mine, I felt immense gratitude. Our lives were proof that love and unity could overcome even the deepest divisions. My journey, though filled with trials, became a testament to the power of understanding, connection, and resilience. As I look back, I realize that the essence of life lies not in the destination but in the journey itself. A journey that taught me to embrace the world's diversity and cherish the bonds that unite us all.
Thanks for joining the journey. Subscribe now and ride into the unknown with White Horse Live.